Okay, let's just dive right into this. Welcome back to The Explainer. This is the place where we take these really fascinating concepts, strip away all that extra fluff, and just build pure, focused understanding straight from the source material. I know you're here because you value clear, structured learning without all the usual distractions. So today, we're looking at a text called Defining the Architecture of Resilience. Just think about that phrasing for a second. Architecture. It implies structure, right? Careful design, a totally solid foundation. We throw around these buzzwords about mental toughness all the time in our daily lives. We talk about pushing through, bouncing back, staying strong. But today we're going to look at the precise blueprints provided by our source.
So, what exactly is resilience? I mean, it's a massive question, isn't it? It's one of those words we hear literally everywhere. In the workplace, in sports, scrolling through our personal development journeys, we are constantly being told we need to build more of it. Like if you stumble, oh, you need resilience. Face a setback at work, you need resilience. But before we can actually examine this architecture of resilience, we kind of need to clear the construction site first. You probably think you know exactly what this word means, right? We naturally group it together with a whole cluster of other motivational terms. But prepare yourself, because we are about to fundamentally shift how you view the whole shebang. And here is the absolutely crucial pivot. Resilience is not the same as tenacity or grit. It is absolutely vital that we separate these concepts. So often we just throw them into the exact same bucket, using them totally interchangeably to describe someone who works really, really hard. When a colleague stays late at the office every single night for a month, what do we say? We call them resilient. When a runner finishes a marathon on a sprained ankle, we call them resilient. But to truly understand resilience, the very first step the source takes is to cleanly separate it from tenacity and grit. They are just not the same building blocks at all. So the big point here is understanding what exactly those other words actually mean according to the text. Tenacity or grit is specifically defined as the ability to stick with a task until it is completed. Really think about that for a second. It is incredibly targeted. Grit is entirely about the task. It's that raw, stubborn willpower to just keep pushing. Think about pulling an all-nighter to finish a totally grueling project, or relentlessly cold-calling a list of 100 prospects until one finally says yes. It's locking on to a single assignment and sticking with it, no matter the friction, until you can finally check it off the list. That is grit. And this brilliantly sets up a really stark comparison. If grit is just the brute force of stubbornly finishing a job, like pushing a massive stone block inch by inch across a finish line through sheer willpower, well, resilience represents something structurally distinct. Think about the foundation of a modern skyscraper in an earthquake zone. It's actually built to absorb shock, to yield slightly, and then bounce back to its original position. Grit is what makes you hit your head against a wall until the wall breaks. But resilience? Resilience is what allows you to absorb an impact without breaking in the first place. It is not just about blindly sticking to a task. It's an entirely different, flexible building block in our psychological framework. Which brings us to a really fascinating endpoint. We now know exactly what resilience isn't, right? It's cleanly separated from the brute force of grit. But that leaves the ultimate definition unstated here, turning that absence into a really profound challenge for us. So I want to leave you with this final thought to take away from this explainer today. If grit is just sticking to the task, stubbornly pushing until completion, what does your architecture of resilience actually look like? When things get tough, are you just pushing blindly forward, or are you actually building a foundation that can bounce back? Thank you so much for joining me, and hey, I encourage you to keep questioning your own blueprints.